Hello, my name is Sophia, and this is an audio version of my blog entry entitled Geolocation of an Old ISIS Execution Video in Iraq. So exciting. Introduction. Every so often, people reach out to me online and ask for help with something OSINT/GeoInt related. I'm always happy to help, especially because it often ends up with me learning something new along the way. Recently, I was asked to assist in finding a pole in Mosul, Iraq. I was not given any more information at first, so I gave some pointers on how to do it and got curious. Next thing I know, I'm being given a link to an old YouTube video with some clips where a pool is visible. It turns out it was not just an ordinary pool, but one where an ISIS group put prisoners in a metal cage and lowered them into the water to drown them. If you are uncomfortable with this sort of content, please skip this blog entry. I made sure to keep all the details and photos as minimally impactful as possible, but the reality of it might still be too much for some people, and that's okay. This blog entry contains an explanation of how I went from that initial clip to finding the exact location of the featured pool in a few hours. I will not skip the parts where I got lost and went off track, as this is not a tutorial on how to do it, but an explanation of how I did it. Geolocating and investigating data is not always a straightforward path, and it's important to embrace the mistakes we make along the way. I have also not included any links or coordinates to anything due to the nature of the content. The video. As mentioned above, I was given a YouTube link with clips of the ISIS execution. The video itself was surrounded by adverts and had several details covered by text and banners, so I really needed to find something clearer and better quality. Below is a screenshot of the footage to give you some idea of what I'm attempting to describe. So this is a screenshot of the YouTube video that I was given, and you can see this is from a news channel. And there was a huge banner, there was ads, there was stuff all over the place, and it kind of cut a bit the image, and I wanted to see it a bit more. As you can imagine, the first point of action was to try to find a much better quality of the ISIS execution footage to see if there are any details I could use to help me geolocate this pool in Mosul, Iraq. Long story short, I did find the full video and managed to save it to my computer. If I was not already on some list, I am pretty sure I am now. Yay for that. Unfortunately, the footage itself had very little detail on the surroundings, but that never stopped me, I gathered 6 screenshots that I felt contained relevant information of the pool and area around it in order to help me find its location. Below are the images I saved. I censored them all, but you can still get an idea of what I was working with. So you can see here people in a cage, and you can see some of the surroundings. So this is a pool and people are lowered. So you can see there's some vegetation from this angle. You can see the side of the pool, the same area there, but you can see there's some vegetation there. So there would be this section here. From a different angle, the quality of this footage was amazing, by the way. Shocking, but amazing. So this is a different angle. And again, from the top, you can see there was an area here where there was no pool. So that was quite useful as well. Although at first glance there is not much to start with, if we look closely there are a few useful details that will definitely help me verify the location once I find it. The top image on the left is, in my opinion, the best one, so let's really look into it. Below you can see all the information I gathered from that one screenshot. On the number 1, here you go, corner of a building with a roof that overhangs. It has vertical markings on it and seems to be gray in color. On number 2, cream/orange colored building. There seems to be some sort of T-shape marking on it. So this is the T-shape. It's tiny, but you can still see it. Some tall vegetation or a small tree in the front. So there's something bigger there. The 3, narrow path surrounding the pool. A small wall behind made of vertical bricks. Dark blue and slightly aged in color. That one. Contains vegetation behind it. Probably grass. So you can see here, there you go, there's a path between the pool and the vegetation there, and these bricks are all vertical. Number 4 on this side, circular shape that goes into the pool. Could be a small structure in the pool, such as a fountain or statue, or the border of the pool, so it's not very clear. The pool in the video will either not be straight edged or will contain something in it, because I cannot be sure if this is the middle or if this is the edge. Number 5, pool ladder on the same side as the building, number 1. So on this side, there's a pool ladder, and it will be a few meters from it. Number 6, tall wall, definitely over 2 meters high. Could be privacy, could be for protection, not sure. There's some patterns on it. Number 7, big tree. It would not be very interesting if I was looking at the Amazonian forest, but as my target is allegedly located in Mosul, a huge city in a semi-arid climate location, this is quite striking, as trees can be seen on satellite imagery. Gathering information. As I have mentioned in many of my geolocations before, I do not particularly like going straight to Google Maps/Google Earth Pro and start scanning the area without having first an idea of where, when, or what I'm looking for. I already have the what, but not the when or the where. Mosul is the second biggest city in Iraq and would take quite some time to scan the entire place. Instead, I would rather spend some time collecting more data about this incident. Things also change a lot over time, so the when is vital as well. The when. In order to find out when this incident happened, I started trying to find out when it was first mentioned/shared online. I compiled a few descriptive keywords of what I was watching in the footage and Googled them. I mostly used a variety of combinations of the words ISIS, Daesh, cage, prisoners, pool, Mosul, Iraq, in several different languages, so you should never stick to just English. Afterwards, I collected all the articles, videos, online mentions, started noting down the dates. Although the most mentioned date of the event was June 23, 2015, I actually found an article with screenshots allegedly published in May 2015. A little trick I use when looking at dates of published articles online is to inspect the page code, as the author could very easily claim the article was published on a date that does not match the evidence. Below is one of the articles about the ISIS execution in Arabic, published on June 23, 2015. You can verify the date by right-clicking the page and selecting Inspect. Afterwards, either search for the word published or start typing 2000 and something or 2000 something for the correct decade. So you'll use 2010, 11, 12, etc. or 2020, 21, 22, etc. According to the source code, the article screenshot below was published on June 23, 2015 at 17:30 in a country with a time zone GMT +3. And I can show you can do that on my blog as well. You can do anywhere actually. Inspect the page. Let me just drag this so you can see a bit better. And if you just start by searching the word published, you'll see here, it'll say published time. My article was published in August 8, 2022, and it was modified today because I'm always changing things all the time. Never happy. Oh my God. Let's go back again. He moves for some reason. Okay. At this point, I'm confident enough that it most likely happened in May/June 2015. I could not find any other mention of it earlier than that, and I could not fully verify the May 2015 date, so I'm going to work with the assumption that it happened within that month. It's good enough. The where. Now begins the fun part, where I need to find the actual location. Yay! The earlier the articles, the more reliable they will be, as the media has not engaged yet in a very long Chinese whispers/telephone game of telling and retelling a story until you end up with very little reliable facts. Why does that happen? Almost all the articles that I found from June 2015 mentioned the incident happening in an area of Mosul called Al-Faisalia. God, that was probably not how it was pronounced, is it? I jumped on Google Maps and tried to search for this in Arabic, which literally translates to Al-Faisalia district, Mosul. I was expecting Google to provide me an area, but instead I got a specific coordinate. Okay, thanks Google, I guess. It was not exactly what I was looking for, but I can work with it. It's fine. I decided to verify that this area is at least the correct one. For that, I went onto YouTube and searched once again for this. Mosul Al-Fazi something district, Mosul. The top video is about shop owners in the Al-Faisalia area in Mosul protesting against a decision to remove their stores to expand the road. So nothing to do with this, but whatever, it's in the same area. I figured that if I could geolocate the video, I could at least confirm that Google Maps is pointing to the correct place. And that is how I ended up doing a geolocation within a geolocation. Why, Sophia? Why did you get yourself into this stuff? Fun times. It was very fun. I loved it. Anyway, I will spare you the details about that one, but here's the verification of my not sharing the coordinates, but it's fine. It's correct. I can tell you that. In the figure below, you can see a screenshot of the video at the top. So the YouTube video I saw with the people complaining, and a Google Maps image from a car dash camera in the area at the bottom here. It's a very good match. It's also around 170 meters from where Google Maps told me the Al-Faisalia area was located, so well done Google. So you can see here, everything matches, so you can see with more detail on the blog, or if you want to pause it, but yeah, same area. So yay, geolocation within a geolocation. So this is where I realized I could have saved myself the trouble and just paid attention to the map that first time around. I noticed that the area was not called Al-Faisalia on Google Maps, but just Faisalia. This might be obvious for Arabic speakers, but I did not realize that Al was removable, so live and learn. Another useful thing in Google Maps is that almost everything is clickable. That means that if I click the Faisalia word as seen on the image below, I'll get additional information. And here it is, according to Google Maps, that Faisalia area in Mosul. I had to remove the satellite view as it was a bit too colorful to actually see the red border around the area. So you can even see this road there is this road here. So this is the area that Google is just like, yeah, this is the Faisalia section of Mosul. Now that I can clearly see the delimitations of the area, I just started scanning it around. The pool looks big enough that it would be visible from satellite view, so how hard can this be? Famous last words, isn't it? A bit of a spoiler halfway through, the pool is not even located in the Al-Faisalia area of Mosul. Keep reading, please. Keep listening. I looked around for a while, but got nothing. A few pools here and there, but no clear match. This is that point in a geolocation where you start second guessing the entire thing. Was this even in Mosul? Was it in Iraq? Did I have the wrong date? Where did I go wrong? Second guessing everything. First thing I did was then trying to assess whether ISIS was even in Mosul in May/June 2015. I then tried to find videos of them in the area and see if I could perhaps geolocate them. At that point, I wondered if I really wanted to be added to more watch lists. The answer is no. One day I will travel abroad again, and I do not want to be interrogated at the border, so there's that. I was also trying to minimize the exposure to graphic images during this investigation, so perhaps I need another strategy. So kind of skip looking for more executions. Yay. New theory. Okay, I stopped and thought about it for a bit. Mosul is a big city, but there's not that many pools around. Where are the pools located? Hotels, rich people's houses. I went with the hotel theory first, since I can't just ask Google Maps to point out rich people's houses in Mosul. It's a shame, isn't it? On Google Maps, I wrote that, which literally translates from Arabic to hotels, Mosul. I was presented with the list as seen below. Thank you, Google. Starting from the top, I checked every single one of them in search of the presence of an outdoor pool, especially in the Al-Faisalia area in case I had missed something. I didn't. I never do. But I got nothing. But then realized something very important. The city of Mosul has changed a lot in the last year, so it's possible that there were hotels at the time that are no longer in operation, or vice versa. Google Maps will only give me the current results, so time to think of an alternative on how to go about this theory. I also wanted to confirm that ISIS was in Mosul around May/June 2015, so I googled that. I quickly found a very interesting article from the Wall Street Journal about how ISIS took over a luxury hotel in Mosul as their base in June 2015. Screenshot of the article with an embedded video below. So you can see the screenshots, and they have the subtitles in English and Arabic. Brilliant, amazing. We, the deaf and mute, direct our message to the Islamic world. So yes, they were deaf and mute. I mean, how inclusive is ISIS? This is shocking, by the way. Like, why? Why would you be in this situation? Fine, let's keep going. Before you get as excited as I was, I just want to let you know our target pool was not even in a hotel. So continue expectations. It was not this one. I scanned this specific hotel and surroundings so many times on Google Earth Pro, changed dates over and over again to compare the satellite imagery from around June 2015, but found no traces of an outdoor pool that matched the one I saw in the ISIS video. Back to square one. God, that was so frustrating. Next theory. Okay, the hotel theory is likely wrong, so I had to think about where else would a pool be. Perhaps university? Sometimes they have a sports complex with pools, so I decided to go for it. My theory was not that strong, so I just quickly searched for Mosul University pool and checked Google Images. I figured that it was not worth translating, as I was not too sure on that anyway. The result I got can be seen in the screenshot below. It's probably too small to notice, but I immediately spotted an interesting image highlighted in red. I cannot express how absolutely excited I was. I was like jumping, so excited, squealing like an idiot. And here is the censored image I found. I'm sure you can already spot the similarities to the screenshot from the ISIS video, but I have marked them all. Number 4 and 6 were out of frame, and number 5 slightly hidden, but I can confirm it was there. So let's go through all of them. You have the roof, perfect, absolutely perfect match. You have the T, look at that T. You can see the goddamn T, it's there. Look at that. You have number 3, remember, it goes around. You can see on that side, vertical breaks, goes around. There's a path in between the pool, this section. Number 4, you cannot see number 4, out of frame, but I'll show you in a second. Number 5, you cannot see much of the ladder, but the ladder is there because there were other photos. And here's the ladder. Number 6, like I said, out of frame, will be on this side. Number 7, the tree, which is very, very sad here, but it's huge here. And what now? That was it. I had the place. Kinda. I still did not know where it was located though, did I? Yay! My excitement did not dwindle though. I was definitely in the right direction at last. I read through the page that had the photos to see if I could get any information about the location. As luck had it, the photo was of an American military base in Iraq, and they were extremely vague about the location. In fact, apart from being in Iraq, I got nothing else regarding the whereabouts. That's okay, because now I had the name of the base and I can work with that. I want to clarify that the only reason I'm publishing this information is because the photo is over 15 years old. The Americans left Iraq 11 years ago, and this base has long been abandoned. Also, by the way, it was far too easy finding the pool. So I set off trying to find location about the base using the codename I found on the page with a photo of the army personnel jumping into the pool. It did not take me long to track an article from 2015 with a very vague description of its location. The sentence I saw said something like FOB, which stands for Forward Operation Base, fake name, not telling you the name obviously, sat on the cardinal direction, not telling you the cardinal direction either, side of Mosul, Iraq, along the another cardinal direction of the Tigris River. Perfect, I can work with that too. From there, I jumped into Google Earth Pro, set the historical view to August 2015, and navigated around using the cardinal directions I just read. Shortly after, I got it. Here is the pool at last, bask in its splendor. Wow, skills. Verification. After tracking down the location, it's time to verify it, so let's really look at the satellite imagery to see if we can match it with what we're expecting to see. Below you can see the same tree highlighted in green, so the big tree, the wall next to it in pink, so you have the wall there, the wall is there. the corner of the building in blue. So you have this corner here, this corner there, and that circular shape area of the pool that sticks in highlighted in red. So you can see there. See, remember I told you that the pool was not going to be straight edged? Perfect, absolutely perfect. It is a very good match. Amazing, amazing. Conclusion. And this is how I went from a small clip from YouTube to the coordinates of the pool where in May/June 2015 ISIS drowned 5 prisoners in the span of a few hours. I'm not willing to share the coordinates of the actual pool, but I can confirm it was indeed in Mosul, Iraq. I hope you managed to learn something along the way. Thank you for listening. Sophia.